On Friday, May 8th, 2026, something strange is moving through the spiritual atmosphere. Pluto has just turned retrograde in Aquarius, the moon is waning in Capricorn, and the energy left behind by the Scorpio full moon is still echoing beneath the surface. This is not random. This is not just another day. This is a threshold moment, and for Pisces, Scorpio, and Gemini especially, the next 48 hours may feel like standing in front of a door your soul recognizes before your mind understands. Why? You may feel it as a sudden heaviness in your chest, a dream that stays with you after waking, a number repeating again and again, a person going silent at the exact moment you needed honesty, a delay that frustrates you but secretly protects you. Something feels off, and your soul already knows. Why? Do not ignore this. The universe does not always warn you with loud thunder. Sometimes it warns you with silence. Sometimes it blocks the road. Sometimes it makes your body tense when a person says all the right words. Sometimes it lets a message go unanswered because the answer is in the absence. And right now, under this strange cosmic weather, you are being asked to notice what your spirit has been trying to whisper for days. This is a threshold. And every threshold has two sides. On one side is the old pattern, the old attachment, the old excuse, the old person, the old version of you that kept explaining away what was clearly hurting you. On the other side is truth, clarity, protection, a higher timeline. But the door does not open for the version of you that keeps betraying your own knowing. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is not gentle energy. Pluto is the planet of hidden power, buried truth, shadow, control, fear, obsession, and transformation. When Pluto turns backward from our perspective, it does not destroy for entertainment. It reveals what has been operating beneath the surface. It brings the hidden machinery of your life into view. It asks where you gave your power away, where you stayed quiet to keep peace, where you accepted confusion because you were afraid of what clarity would require. Aquarius energy rules distance, networks, friendship, the future, technology, community, and the strange feeling of being emotionally detached from something you once cared about deeply. So when Pluto retrograde begins in Aquarius, the warning may not come through a dramatic argument. It may come through someone's energy suddenly feeling cold, a group no longer feeling safe, a text thread feeling different, a friendship becoming one-sided, a digital message carrying a tone your spirit immediately catches, a future plan suddenly feeling wrong in your body, and then the waning gibbous. Moon in Capricorn adds another layer. Capricorn does not deal in fantasy. Capricorn asks, what is stable? What is real? What is proven? What is structure? What can stand when emotion fades? This moon says, look at the pattern, not the promise. Look at the action, not the apology. Look at what keeps repeating, not what you keep hoping will change. That is why the next 48 hours carry a strange spiritual warning. Not because you should be afraid, but because you are being protected before you step through the wrong door. For some of you, this warning is connected to love. Someone's silence is louder than their words. Someone may be holding back the truth, avoiding accountability, hiding their real feelings, or keeping you emotionally suspended because they benefit from your uncertainty. You may sense that something is unfinished, but you may also sense that chasing it will cost you your peace. This is where the threshold appears. Do you cross back into the same emotional maze, or do you finally stand still long enough for the truth to reveal itself? For others, this warning is connected to money, work, or a decision you feel pressured to make. You may be tempted to rush, sign, agree, invest, accept, or commit just to relieve uncertainty. But Capricorn moon energy says, slow down, read the fine print, protect your resources. Do not let fear of missing out push you into something your body is resisting. A blocked opportunity may not be rejection. It may be a locked door placed there by divine timing, and for some, the warning is deeply spiritual. You may be receiving strange dreams, seeing the same symbols, hearing a phrase repeatedly, feeling someone's energy before they contact you, waking up at unusual hours with a sense that something is shifting. This is not madness. This is your inner system becoming more sensitive because the old noise is clearing. Before this moment, many of you have been living in a long corridor of confusion. You have been waiting for something to make sense, waiting for someone to speak, waiting for a situation to change, waiting for your own heart to stop feeling divided. You may have felt emotionally tired but unable to fully rest, spiritually awake but practically stuck. You may have had moments where you wanted to move forward, but something inside kept pulling you back to review the same memory, the same conversation, the same unanswered question. That was not weakness. That was preparation. The threshold has been forming slowly. Every disappointment was showing you what no longer deserves access. Every delay was teaching you patience, discernment, and emotional sobriety. Every mixed signal was training your intuition to recognize imbalance. Every moment of silence was asking whether you would abandon yourself just to be chosen by someone else. Now the energy changes. What was hidden begins to press against the surface. What was confusing begins to reveal a pattern. What felt random begins to connect. You may not receive the full answer immediately, but you will receive enough to know where your peace is being disturbed. And this is the most important part. The warning may not look like danger. It may look like attraction. It may look like nostalgia. It may look like an opportunity. It may look like someone returning with softer words. It may look like a chance to finally get what you wanted. But your body will know. Your nervous system will know. Your dreams will know. Your spirit will know whether this is a blessing or a test, wearing the mask of a blessing. During the next 48 hours, pay attention to what happens at the threshold of communication. Who reaches out? Who disappears? Who explains clearly? Who becomes defensive? Who only gives partial truth? Who makes you feel calm? Who makes you feel like you have to shrink, decode, wait, chase, or prove your worth? The universe is not asking you to become suspicious of everyone. It is asking you to become loyal to your inner knowing. Mentally, this energy can feel like sudden clarity cutting through fog. You may find yourself replaying old conversations, but this time you notice details you ignored before. A sentence, a pause, a change in tone, a moment when someone avoided the real question. You may suddenly realize that your confusion was not created by your lack of understanding. It was created by someone else's lack of honesty. Emotionally, this energy can feel heavy and sharp at the same time. You may feel a strange sadness without a clear reason, as if your soul is grieving a version of life that never fully arrived. You may feel irritated by people who waste your time. You may feel detached from someone you once prayed would return. You may feel tears come up, not because something new happened, but because your spirit is finally admitting what it has known for a long time. Spiritually, this energy can feel like standing before a locked door while holding a key you are afraid to use. The key is truth. The door is choice. The threshold is the moment you stop pretending you do not know. Physically, your body may speak loudly. Tension in the throat can appear when truth has been swallowed too long. Pressure in the chest can rise when your heart is processing grief, fear, or anticipation. Restlessness may move through your legs when your body wants movement, but your mind is still trying to negotiate with the past. Fatigue may come when your spirit is releasing an old energetic contract. Listen to the body. The body is not separate from the spiritual story. The body is the temple where your intuition first knocks. In money and abundance, this threshold is extremely important. Pluto retrograde can reveal where you have been giving away power financially. Capricorn moon energy asks you to protect your resources, stop making emotional money decisions, and stop confusing survival with destiny. If something feels financially unclear, pause. If someone pressures you to decide quickly, pause. If an opportunity looks exciting but the structure feels weak, pause. This is not the time to gamble your stability just because anxiety wants a fast escape. This is the time to ask, does this choice build my future, or does it only soothe my fear for one moment? Some of you are about to see how emotional patterns have affected money. Maybe you overgive because you fear being rejected. Maybe you undercharge because you fear being seen. Maybe you avoid looking at numbers because scarcity feels painful. Maybe you keep investing energy into people, jobs, or projects that never return the value you pour in. This cosmic warning may show you that abundance is not only about receiving more. Sometimes abundance begins when you stop leaking energy into what cannot hold your worth. A money blessing may come after you say no. A better opportunity may appear after a fake one collapses. A financial delay may protect you from a bad agreement. A sudden realization about work may push you to finally take your talent seriously. The warning is not against success. The warning is against entering the wrong door because you are tired of waiting outside the right one. In health and the body, this energy asks for regulation. Not panic, not obsession. Regulation, drink water. Rest more than usual. Give your nervous system quiet. Avoid overstimulation, especially from conversations that make you spiral, social, media that makes you compare, and people who leave you emotionally activated without resolution. Your body may need more sleep, slower mornings, deeper breathing, and less noise. Dreams may become unusually vivid. You may wake up remembering symbols, places, faces, doors, roads, water, storms, phones, or people from the past. Do not force every dream into a dramatic meaning, but do not dismiss the emotional residue. Ask yourself what the dream made you feel. Was it warning, closure, grief, desire, fear, or release? The feeling is often the message. If you feel sudden anxiety, do not immediately assume something terrible is happening. Ask whether your body is detecting misalignment. Sometimes anxiety is unprocessed fear. Sometimes it is intuition mixed with trauma. The wisdom is learning the difference. Trauma screams and demands immediate reaction. Intuition is quieter, steadier, and often repeats itself until you listen. During this threshold, the universe is asking you not to react from fear, but to respond from awareness. Now we enter the Relationship and communication layer, and this may be the strongest part in the next 48 hours. Someone's behavior may reveal more than their words. A person who truly values you will not leave you constantly decoding their intentions. A person who is emotionally mature will not punish you with silence every time truth is required. A person who wants to build will bring clarity, consistency, and respect. But someone who benefits from your confusion may offer just enough warmth to keep you attached, then withdraw before accountability arrives. Watch the pattern. Watch how people behave when you stop chasing. Watch what happens when you ask a direct question. Watch who respects your boundary and who tries to make you feel guilty for having one. Watch who shows up only when they sense you pulling away. Watch who wants access to your energy, but not responsibility for your heart. The universe may use silence as a mirror. If someone goes quiet, do not immediately run toward the silence to fill it. Let it speak. Let it reveal. Let the empty space show you whether there was ever a real foundation beneath the connection. Some of you are dealing with a person who feels you changing. They may not understand it, but they can sense that your energy is no longer as available. You are not responding the same way. You're not explaining yourself as much. You are not begging for reassurance. You're not standing at the same door knocking until your hands hurt. And when your energy changes, the dynamic changes. This is where the karmic shift begins. A karmic connection does not always end because love disappears. Sometimes it ends because one soul finally learns the lesson. Sometimes the lesson is self-respect. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes the lesson is discernment. Sometimes the lesson is realizing that chemistry is not the same as safety, and intensity is not the same as destiny. For those in relationships, this energy may bring a serious conversation. Not loud, not dramatic, but honest. Something may need to be said plainly. Where are we going? What are we avoiding? What do we need to repair? What pattern cannot continue? The threshold is not always separation. Sometimes the threshold is maturity. Two people either step into truth together or they reveal that only one person was willing to grow. For those single or in separation, this energy may bring a pull from the past. A person may think of you intensely. You may feel them energetically. You may dream of them or suddenly remember something connected to them, but do not confuse energetic connection with divine instruction to return. Sometimes you feel someone because a cord is being cut, not because a reunion is being prepared. This is why you must observe before acting. Do not chase during this transit. Do not send the message just to break the silence if your deeper intention is to escape discomfort. Do not make a major emotional decision from fear of abandonment. Do not accept partial honesty as full truth. Do not ignore your body's warning because your heart wants a different answer. Instead, slow down. Write down what you're feeling before you speak. Notice what is repeating. Ask one honest question if a conversation is necessary, but then watch the response, not just the words, the energy behind the words, the accountability behind the words, the consistency after the words. Protect your money, protect your sleep, protect your peace, protect your spiritual attention. Everything that asks for your energy during the next 48 hours should be examined at the threshold before it is allowed inside. Now let us speak directly to the 3 signs most affected. Pisces, this warning is coming through your dreams, your emotions, and your invisible knowing. You may feel unusually sensitive, but this sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a spiritual instrument. You may sense when someone is not telling the whole truth. You may feel a mood shift before anyone says anything. You may wake up carrying emotions that do not fully belong to you. The universe is asking you to stop, absorbing everything, and start discerning what is yours. Pisces, your threshold is emotional. You're being asked not to drown in someone else's confusion. If a person keeps making you feel responsible for their healing, their silence, their instability, or their lack of clarity, the warning is simple. Compassion without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. You can love someone and still step back. You can forgive someone and still not reopen the door. You can feel a soul connection and still choose peace. In the next 48 hours, your dreams may be important. Your body may react strongly to certain names, places, messages, or memories. Pay attention to water symbolism, locked rooms, old houses, phones, oceans, or people appearing from the past. These may not be literal predictions. They may be emotional. Messages showing you where energy is still attached. The activation for Pisces is spiritual cleanliness. Clear the field. Rest. Pray. Journal. Stop explaining away what your intuition keeps repeating. Scorpio, this energy is piercing straight into hidden motives, energetic betrayal, and power dynamics. You are already one of the signs most skilled at sensing what lies beneath the surface, but this threshold may confirm something you have felt for a while. Someone's mask may slip, a truth may rise, a private suspicion may become impossible to ignore. This does not mean you need to attack, expose, or confront immediately. Scorpio power is not reaction. Scorpio power is observation until the truth has nowhere left to hide. Your warning is about trust. Who has earned it? Who only demanded it? Who became uncomfortable when you started asking clearer questions? Who wanted intimacy without transparency? Who wanted access without honesty? The next 48 hours may show you where a connection, friendship, business situation, or emotional attachment is built on uneven ground. Scorpio, your karmic shift is deep. You're being asked to stop confusing loyalty with endurance. You do not have to stay in an energy just because you once invested your heart there. You do not have to protect people from the consequences of what they chose. You do not have to keep holding the door open for someone who only approaches when they need your light, your body, your power, your forgiveness, or your emotional intensity. If you feel a sudden calm, trust it. Sometimes Scorpio expects truth to arrive like a storm, but this time it may arrive as silence inside your own chest. The moment you no longer need the apology to move forward, the cord weakens. The moment you stop needing them to admit what they did, your power returns. The moment you choose yourself without needing revenge, the old cycle begins to die. Gemini, your warning is coming through words, messages, delays, conversations, and contradictions. You may notice someone saying one thing while their behavior says another. You may receive a text that feels casual on the surface but carries a deeper undertone. You may be pulled into a conversation where the truth is hidden between the lines. Your mind may feel busy, restless, and overstimulated, but beneath the mental noise, your intuition is trying to organize the evidence. Gemini, your threshold is communication. Do not let clever words override consistent action. Do not let someone talk you out of what you clearly observed. Do not explain away mixed signals just because the conversation becomes charming again. This energy asks you to listen differently, not only to what is said, but to what is avoided, not only to speed, but to substance, not only to promises, but to patterns. For you, the next 48 hours may bring a revealing message, a delayed response, a strange coincidence, or a conversation that changes how you see someone. You may also feel pushed to speak your truth after holding it back. But be careful not to scatter your energy by telling everyone what you are processing. Some revelations need privacy before they need announcement. Gemini, your activation is discernment of language. Your gift is perception, but your lesson is focus. The universe may show you that not every open door is your door. Not every message deserves a response, and not every connection deserves another explanation. Sometimes your power is not in saying more. Sometimes your power is in saying exactly enough, then stepping back. For all signs, the next 48 hours are not here to frighten you. They are here to refine you. A warning from the universe is not a punishment. It is protection arriving early. It is grace standing at the threshold before consequence enters the room. It is the quiet hand on your shoulder saying, wait, look again, feel deeper, choose higher. There may be a person you are being asked not to chase. A decision you are being asked not to rush. A pattern you are being asked not to repeat. A door you're being asked not to open just because it is familiar. This is where everything changes, not because the entire world transforms overnight, but because you finally stop crossing thresholds that cost you your spirit. Your guidance is simple, but powerful. During this window, slow down. Observe more than you explain. Let people reveal themselves without interrupting the lesson. Write down the signs you receive. Protect your money from emotional decisions. Give your body rest. Do not force communication from someone who knows where to find you. Do not mistake anxiety for destiny. Do not mistake silence for defeat. Do not mistake a closed door for rejection. A closed door can be mercy, and when the right door opens, you will not have to abandon yourself to walk through it. You will not have to beg, shrink, chase, decode, or bleed for clarity. The right door will still require courage, but it will not require self-betrayal. So as this Pluto retrograde begins, as the waning gibbous moon carries away what the Scorpio full moon exposed, remember this. The universe is not trying to take from you what belongs to you. It is trying to remove what was never worthy of entering your next chapter. Pisces, trust the dream. Scorpio, trust the hidden truth rising. Gemini, trust the message beneath the message. And for anyone listening who feels the strange pressure of this moment, stand still at the threshold. Do not rush through the door. Do not run back to the hallway. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe. Ask what your soul already knows. Because the warning is not here to scare you, it is here to save you from repeating the story you have finally become strong enough to outgrow.